Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, good morning all of you and welcome to this session. This is Ashima and in this video we'll be talking about everyday news events or daily current affairs. Discussion is going to involve all the major news events of the past day and we are going to talk about them so that it is helpful for all the exam aspirants. Also, for those who want to practice questions, for them we have everyday live quiz, a hardly 15-minute quiz which will help you get in touch with all the question formats for the current affairs that are possible. So go through that quiz on NP app. You can download app from Google Play Store or from the link which is provided below in the comment section. So check that app out and do give this quiz every day, which is completely free of cost. Right? Now we are going to begin with a news event. The first one is new subsidiary of NPCI. So a new subsidiary of NPCI has recently been unveiled, which is by the name NPCI Bharat Bill Pay Limited. Now this is a wholly owned or completely owned by NPCI. Moving further, all licensed bill processors on Bharat Bill Payment Operating Units or BBPOU, that is the banks and payment aggregators that have been directed to start accounting their billing transactions under NBBL from 1st of April. So all the bill payments that are done via NPCI mode of payment, we are talking here about the mode of payment. So any payment which is done via the mode of payment of NPCI, they are going to be done under or being managed under NPCI Bharat Bill Pay Limited, right? Now, BBPS is an interoperable bill payment platform which was set up in 2013, and this was set up for use by banks, fintech companies, and biller merchants to automate bill collection and request solution. Right. So over here, what are the important points? NPCI is a new wholly owned subsidiary, and when was BBPS established? That is, Bharat Bill Pay Payment Service was established in which year? And it is for use of banks, fintech companies, and biller merchants all together. Right. Also, it is important to know about NPCI, that is, who is the chairperson of NPCI, currently who is the chairperson of NPCI, and current CEO of NPCI. So over here we have two important people. If we talk about chairperson, that is going to be Biswa Mohan Mohapatra, and the CEO is going to be Dilip Asbe. Right? All right. Then next we have two new undersea internet cables that are being set up. So the two subsea cables are by the name Echo and Bitfrost, and they are going to connect between Asia Pacific region and North America. So they're going to connect Asia Pacific region with the North American region, and this is going to list, if we talk about the coasts that are going to be linked, it is US West Coast with Singapore and with Indonesia. Now in this these two cables which we are talking about, they both are going to be set up with a lot of collaboration done with Facebook, Google, and other telecom companies. In this, Facebook will be investing in both the cables, both Bitfrost and Echo. Whereas if we talk about Google is going to invest only in one of them, and that is going to be Echo. So Google will be investing only in Echo, whereas Facebook will be investing in both of these cables. Then, second of all, what is the purpose? Why are they being set up? They are being set up so that first of all, data capacity is increased to about 70%, and second of all, internet reliability is increased. For both of these reasons, this is being set up. Then Echo project will be completed by the late 2023, as both of these organizations are funding it, and Bitfrost is expected to be completed by late 2024. Also, if we talk about the regional investors that are there, from Indonesia we have Telenan XL Axeta, from Singapore we have Keppel, and furthermore more global partners are expected to join this initiative. Right? Then fifth biological heritage site of Maharashtra. So in Amboli in western Ghat of Sindhudurg district, biodiversity heritage site has been set up by Maharashtra government. Why has it been set up is because a new freshwater fish was discovered by the name Schistura hiranyakeshi. Schistura hiranyakeshi is the name of the fish species, a freshwater fish species which has been discovered in a pond, and that has been discovered at Mahadev Temple at Amboli in Savantwadi Tehsil of Sindhudurg district. Who discovered it? It was discovered by Tejas Thackeray. Who is Tejas Thackeray? He is the son of the current Chief Minister of Maharashtra, that is Uddhav Thackeray. So, first of all, name of the fish is important. That is, what is the name of the fish which has been discovered. Second of all, it's a freshwater fish. Third of all, it has been discovered in Sindhudurg district in Mahadev Temple of Amboli. Fourth of all, who discovered it? Tejas Thackeray, son of Uddhav Thackeray, discovered it. And this is the fifth heritage site of Maharashtra, and it has been set up under Biological Diversity Act 2002. The name of the heritage site is Schistura Hiryankeshi Biological Heritage Site, right? All right. Then we have military exercise Shantir Agrosena 2021, which is being held in Bangladesh. It is going to be held from 4th of April to 12th of April with the theme Robust Peacekeeping Operations. Now, in this, first of all, why is it being observed? Because this year, birth centenary of father of the nation of Bangladesh, that is Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, is being observed. So, to commemorate that birth centenary, this military exercise is going to be organized. Now, in this, there are observer nations also and participants also. If we talk about participants, we have Indian Army, Royal Bhutan Army, Sri Lankan Army, and Bangladesh Army. Whereas if we talk about observer nations, it is USA, UK, Turkey, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Singapore. These are the attending nations, and participating nations being Indian Army, Royal Bhutan Army, Sri Lankan Army, and Bangladesh Army. Right? Then a few one-liners. Government has declared anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as a public holiday. Now, first of all, when is it there? That is 14th of April is observed as birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Second of all, this year it is 130th birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Third thing, it is being celebrated under Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, Section 25. The Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, Section 25 is the one under which this has been declared as a public holiday. Then, rating agency CRISIL, which is a subsidiary of S&P Global, the subsidiary of S&P Global, and it has projected India's GDP growth rate for financial year 21 as -7%, financial year 22 as +11%. So, contraction in 21 and growth in 2022. Then we have UNESCAP, United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific. According to UNESCAP, GDP growth rate of India is at 7% in 2021-2022. First thing. And second of all, if we talk about previous year, that is financial year 21 or 2020-2021, according to that, the expected contraction was -7.7%. Contraction is -7.7% for financial year 21. Then PhonePe has become the first player to cross billion transaction mark on UPI recently. Also, India has become the largest online payment country in the world. That is, the maximum number of payments using online method have been done by India or in India in the past year. Right now, in this, if we talk about the achievements of PhonePe, it has achieved this in March 2021 when the total transactions were about 1.3 billion total transactions reported by PhonePe across all the methods that can be done, that is wallet, cards, UPI, all of them. Then former RBI Governor Urjit Patel, he has been named as additional director at Britannica recently, and he has been appointed for a term period of 5 years. So his appointment is for the term period of 5 years with effect from 31st of March. Then Mallika Srinivasan has been appointed as Chief of PESB. So, as a Chief of PESB, Public Enterprise Selection Board, Chairperson is Mallika Srinivasan. New book on Manohar Parikar has been launched recently by Nitin Gokhale. The name of the book is Manohar Parikar, Brilliant Mind, Simple Life. This is the name of the new book by Nitin Gokhale. Now, if we talk about Manohar Parikar, first of all, he was the first IITian to become a chief minister. Second of all, he was a former defense minister. Third of all, he was chief minister of Goa for 4 times. So, for 4 times, he was chief minister. He was the first IITian to become chief minister, and he also had a position as defense minister. Next, which we have is Vice President Venkaiah Naidu. He also released a book of Dr. Shailendra Joshi, which was titled Supari Palana. Now, this book, Supari Palana, is a Telugu translation of Eco Tea Calling. There's a book, Eco Tea Calling, and its complete name is Eco Tea Calling Towards People-Centric Governance. Now, this book has been translated to Telugu by Dr. Shailendra Joshi and has been launched by the name Supari Palana. Now, who was the author of Eco Tea Calling? Eco Tea Calling was written by former Telangana Chief Secretary S.K. Joshi. S.K. Joshi was former Secretary of Telangana and he had written this book Eco Tea Calling. Next, Anian Midun wins gold at South Asian Wushu Championship recently. And this, where was this championship held? This championship was held in Nepal. This championship was held in Nepal, and he is the first Wushu player from South India in the 10-member team of Wushu of India. Right. Next, which we have is International Day for Mine Awareness and Assistance in Mine Action, which was held on 4th of April. This year, the theme was Perseverance, Persistence, and Progress. So, Perseverance, Partnership, and Progress. This was the theme. Triple P, Perseverance, Partnership, and Progress. These are the triple P. Then, Japanese Nobel laureate Isamu Akasaki, who is inventor of the first efficient blue LED, he has passed away at the age of 92. Now, he was the co-winner of 2014 Nobel Prize in Physics. With whom had he shared this award? This was shared with Hiroshi Amano. Hiroshi Amano, and who is a professor of University of Nagoya, and Shuji Nakamura. Shuji Nakamura, who is a professor at University of California. So they were the 3 winners of 2014 Nobel Prize of Physics, and Isamu Akasaki had won for the first efficient blue LED. Right. Now, with this, we'll be winding up the segment. I hope this segment has been helpful to all of you. We'll see you in the next video with more such news events. Until then, goodbye, take care, and have a wonderful day ahead, all of you.